Welcome, everyone. It's been some time, and it'll be some time again after this week, since next week is the break week. So, a couple things I will mention on Twitch is that today you can, well, until October 1st, you can save 30% on new subscriptions. So if you haven't subbed to us yet and you want to save some money, now is the time. Now, just remember, don't sub on your mobile device because Google and Apple take a cut of that. Do it on your web browser. It's cheaper.
And if you don't already, remember that Amazon Prime gives you a free sub.
Exactly. Free subs. And if you have Amazon Prime, you can also check out the games. We are not sponsored by Amazon. Well, I mean, technically we are, I guess, since we're on Twitch, but... Anyway, my shilling aside, like, subscribe, follow, check us out on YouTube, Twitch, TikTok, Twitter, and Discord. Okay, now that I have become internet prostitute for a moment, we're gonna leave that alone.
We do love watching you whore yourself out.
Well, you know. Can't help it. It's what we gotta do. It's what we gotta do. So, how's everybody's week?
There have been 5 full moons this week. I'm convinced of it, and nothing will change my mind.
It's a week.
We're getting married in 23 days.
Congratulations.
I'm getting
That's
married in 4
awesome.
years.
Yay!
Finally picked a goddamn date.
Woo!
Oh, and something else. Some of our duo crew will be meeting up at Renaissance Fair in Ohio, which I can't remember. I think it's Mansfield, Ohio.
It sounds like a place.
Bummer. I'm going to the Ren Fair in Maryland.
We're going to the one in Ohio, and then we're also going to the one in PA. Ohio will be the 29th, and PA will be the 6th. Both of those are the time traveler weekends.
I volunteer for the one in Washington every year, but I get to yell things at the knights.
So yes, it is con season and everything. So if you're out there, enjoy and drive safe, drink safe, and enjoy your costumes.
And remember to stay hydrated. Some of those costumes get really freaking hot.
Oh my god.
Ain't that the truth? Ain't that the truth?
Yeah.
Gatorade, Liquid IV, your best friends. Don't just do regular water. That is how you strip the electrolytes from your blood cells, and that is how you give yourself water sickness. I know this from experience. Gatorade is your best friend.
And leather ain't for the weak, baby.
Ooh, sexy as it is, it doesn't breathe.
Get yourself a circle bottle.
Yeah.
Not sponsored.
Yeah, no, steel plate, you'll be baking. You'll be baking.
Yes.
You heard it here first. Don't wear a full leather suit with the mask and the sun,
Because
folks.
you'll be bacon.
We are back. We are back.
Woo!
Who wants to give the recap from a few weeks ago? If someone doesn't volunteer, I will choose.
I can do it, but I was only there for the first 10 minutes and I only know what happens right at the end to Travis. So, like,
Well, you were there for the whole
Someone-
time, just not conscious.
Yeah, no, I was like asleep on the floor. It was great. I had a great nap.
Anyone else who was awake for the whole session?
I was not there.
I think I can do it.
You think you can do it?
You
I
think you can
think-
do it?
We can do
Res-
collaboratively and fill in each other's blanks.
Yeah, restore my faith.
Last time on Journeys in Djruthourhi,
Dun, dun, dun.
Dun 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 dun.
we reached the town of
Nehoth?
Nehoth.
Neha. And we ended up trying to name our ship. I don't remember, but we split up into two parties, and some of us went shopping, the others went to go and get the ship, to pay someone to repair the ship.
And also disguise it a
Travis
little.
ended up taking up a side quest.
Maybe. We'll see.
Life of crime. Life of crime.
Fox is currently a girl.
Wasting all of our money.
Fox is terrible with money. And,
Okay, Estinian, you can't be worse.
at first, the name of the ship was Lights Raider, but we were changing it to something else.
Fair,
think it was-
fair winds.
Fair winds.
Fair Winds. Fair
Yep.
Winds. I think that's it.
The place where we were going to repair the boat was somewhere less, how should we put it, official?
Oh, yeah, it was a
Oh, that-
shady
no records,
area
Yep.
with no questions asked.
We debated whether or not we were just going to dump all of our crap onto one of the Imperial ships and steal it, and then we decided that that would bring too much attention to us.
Yeah.
And do
That
we
too.
remember what the other group was doing?
You guys
I
split
thought
the
they were-
party?
Trying to get the damn ship fixed.
Yeah. Haku mentioned that. Our group went shopping, and maybe I have accepted a side quest. I'm going to do a little bit more investigating before I decide whether or not I'm going to follow through on that, because
There were only two groups, right?
Yes. And what was your side quest?
get some money for one of the local smiths to pay for a job she had completed for a high elf by the name of Alan, who is a member of the local guard.
A shakedown.
Yep.
And I believe we decided we had left Garganoth on the ship to kind of keep an eye on things.
And I was going to
Yeah,
do
sounds
some
about right.
professional snooping.
Yeah, and Seren was going to do some snooping, which we were going to do at the beginning of the next session, which is today.
Yay! And did we
Is this
decide
some-
that if we weren't all back at the boat by a particular time during the day, we'd leave without someone?
I
Well,
don't think there's any
the,
scenario where we do that.
the job is going to take through the night.
I believe
There was a
I asked
room.
Amber to send a message.
There was that as well. You are correct.
I had sent the message to Kyrie to basically say, hey, come here, ask for one of the patrons, and then we need to talk. Was basically the message Amber had sent out.
The exact message was private room secured, brick shop by wall in dark mill, door around back, ask for loom. Lum. And Kyrie replied with, sounds good, I'll let others know we are still shopping. La la la. Do do do. Dee dee dee.
Oh yeah, and we decided you have to use all 25 words, otherwise certain words go through after.
the continued conversation goes through.
Yep.
Amber got the last bit of the conversation related to Mia, Galloy, and assumedly Seren, very confused.
Oi, shut off your radio.
Yeah. Okay. All right. Let me turn this on. We got some ambient noises for the town, which sadly my players can't hear right now. And off we go. So, Seren, you wanted to do snooping. What is it you'd like to snoop?
I want to snoop in on the Imperial's business here and work out if there's anything shady going on that we should be concerned about.
Shadiness that you should be concerned about. Okay, and where would you like to do this snooping?
Well, I was on my way, last thing I remember was on my way with Mia to the place.
Which is down here.
Where the boat's getting fixed. Which is down there. So I might start at... Is there a sketchy looking pub? I feel like pub's a good place to find information.
Truth. Well, just roll me a investigation check, why don't? Or yeah, investigation works, or perception. 17. So yeah, as you leave the group to their meager lodgings, you are set out to search through this dark mill district, which is kind of the seedier part of town. You find a rather... I mean, it seems popular enough. It's, you know, still kind of midday, but it looks like it's gotten some use. And there is a sign over the door that depicts what seems to be a troll in some kind of a bonnet. And the name reads, The Dainty Troll.
The Dainty Troll.
Yes.
Alrighty, I will walk into the Dainty Troll.
The first thing that you notice whenever you enter is the immediate smell of kind of soggy, wet firewood being burned. It's a bit damp, a bit musty in here, and the people within this place do not seem to be the upper crust. Not really sailors. It seems like a laborer's bar and pub, but I mean, it's working well enough. There is a small goblin woman that is walking around placing food and drinks on tables, and she has to kind of jump up a little bit to put the stuff on the table from her tray. But she's working hard and looks a little bit unkempt because of it.
Do I recognize anyone as I go in?
Are you looking to recognize anyone?
Yes.
Give me a perception check.
People
Are
I
you-
may have bumped into, people I may have worked with.
Well, I mean, this is a bit far north for you. You don't notice anyone in particular that you recognize. I mean, you notice kind of... I mean, you've been in the business long enough, you kind of notice the postures and stuff of a couple people that might be on the darker side of the law, but No one that you recognize specifically.
I am going to sit close to the people that are sitting in, like, with that sort of posturing, but not so close that it's obvious I'm listening to what they're saying.
Okay.
I'm going to spend my time listening for the moment and just seeing what I learn from listening.
As you walk over to a table, it does not take long for the goblin to walk over to your table. Hey girl, what you need?
A pint of something. I don't mind.
A pint of something.
Of something. Whatever you like.
Alright, as you like. She walks off.
Thank you.
So, you're trying to listen in on these conversations?
Yep. Just seeing what I can learn.
Are you trying to be sneaky about it?
I mean, I'm always trying to be sneaky.
Give me a stealth check. Seren, while you're listening in on the conversation, there's really not a lot happening. The ones sitting at the table are basically talking about work for the day. It's nothing like, you know, they're talking about some ships they were working on and repairing the hulls, and eventually the conversation goes to nocturnal activities. Really nothing of interest to what you're looking for. However, you do notice when the goblin comes back and lays you down a pint on the table, you do happen to notice a tattoo on her arm. It is that of a smiling theater mask. And you recognize this as one of the thieves' guilds called the Goodfellows.
I am going to very unsubtly say to the goblin as she passes the pint, very quietly, I said, "Oh, it seems like a good fellow must have given you that tattoo."
She immediately gives you a little bit of a look. Brow cocked, ears back a little bit. I don't know what you're trying to get at, girl, but we don't need to be talking about that.
I was merely making an observation.
Well, observations as they are, perhaps you should, keep them quiet, yeah?
Is there a reason I should keep quiet? Not like getting you in trouble or anything, because that'd be very rude and unprofessional of me. But just out of curiosity while I'm passing through.
She kind of leans in a little bit and keeps her voice low. Anyone who knows what that means knows better than to be talking about it out in public.
Is there anywhere in town I may be able to go later this evening to find out more, so it's not so public? To find out what's going on?
Such information sometimes costs you more than you're asking for.
How much is the pint normally?
For you, 20 gold pieces.
That is a little steep when I could just follow you home. Ah, well. And find out that information myself.
Whatever you want, girlie. She kind of turns, gives you a glance over her shoulder, and walks back towards the kitchen.
I'm gonna smile and wave.
She disappears into the kitchen after that point.
tormenting people while they're at their workplace. What can I say?
Latest after my own heart.
So, Seren, are you gonna hang out in the dainty troll for a bit, or are you gonna keep on looking?
I think I might wander through a couple of alleyways just to see if I notice anything odd happening, and then head back to the group and be like, look, other than it being a shady place, there's not a huge amount happening unless I find something.
All right. Well, as you leave the dainty troll and your pint behind untouched, and you head out into the alleyways for the moment.
Yes.
Okay. Let's shift gears for a moment and check in on our other group. We will check in on the people at Luff and Lums. Mia's group.
Amber, you can't roll your bedroll out like that. You're gonna get a fucking backache, and then you're gonna be useless on deck tomorrow.
Mia, how else do you expect me to roll this out?
Obviously,
I don't have
one-handed, but with a little more effort.
I'm putting in just
Gotta
exactly
fluff
as
it
much
up a
effort
little
as
bit.
necessary. What do you want me to use to fluff this up? I have one arm, Mia. I have one arm.
Gusto. Amber, gusto.
The only gusto that's going to wind up happening is going to be my fire breath into your face in a minute here.
Well, look, if you light my bedroll on fire, one, that's like my 30th bedroll I've had to replace on this fucking journey of a lifetime. Two, you're gonna have to share, and I don't know if that bedroll's big enough for the both of us.
You can share with Galloy. I don't think he would mind.
I don't think he has one. Sorry, God spoke for a moment.
Oh God! Voices descending from on high!
Please just don't blow up my bedroll.
I wasn't planning on blowing up your bedroll.
Or setting it on fire.
I wasn't planning on setting the bedroll on fire. I was planning on setting you on fire.
Okay, well that's even more rude. Alright.
You're trying to critique the skills that I'm having to relearn.
I'm not critiquing. I am merely suggesting...
With gusto! With gusto! This is a critique. I'm having to relearn things fundamentally that I've been doing.
Save your sciatic nerve. That's all I'm suggesting.
Do you even know what a sciatic nerve is?
I am slightly more intelligent, I think, than you give me credit for.
You're right, you're right. Jason is the one I really need to worry about, but oh wait, he took the brain cell with him.
Oh.
Joke's on you. He never had one.
That's even more concerning. And that also explains a lot from the desert.
Well, yes. I mean, it's laughable you thought there was any involved. We go on chaos and coffee here.
And we ran out of coffee.
Yeah, and we're freshly out of coffee, so coffee sounds so good right now.
It does. Agreed.
As much as I would love to go traverse the city and find a good coffee shop, I don't think that's very smart.
No, laying low does lend to not going out and randomly buying coffee.
Maybe I'll ask Lum if he has any luff. Which one's the skull? I don't remember.
Whoever we told Kyrie to ask for.
But that has to be Lum. I'm going to go see if Luff has a coffee maker.
Or an errand boy we can pay off.
Errand boys are bribable.
I think you told Kyrie to ask for the skull.
I did. I specifically told Kyrie to ask for the skull.
That's who they told us to ask. To tell our companion to ask.
Mm-hmm.
And so now I'm going to go ask the other one, the one that's not the skull, if he has a coffee maker. And or bribable errand boy.
When you get back, can we check in on the ship with Garth and Malagos?
Oh, Yes. Let me do that before I go any further. So that can take my priority. Yes, I will use another cast of sending, and I will type out my message real quick.
Okay.
I will look over at Galloy and be like, "You don't happen to have a percolator in there, do you?"
I would have no need for such a thing.
Okay, well, it was worth a shot. What if we put a carafe inside and then Amber heats you up and then we shake you around a little bit?
The water would not be advisable to mix with my internal systems.
That's why you're in a carafe.
I don't think you understand how my fire works, because it's not like that.
What? You just heat him up. You blast him.
Oh, hell.
Galloy's blasting off again.
Just
No?
imagine the Tin Man from The Wizard of Oz with the steam shooting out of the top of his head.
Absolutely.
That's all I see.
Right, and we can use the funnel on top of his head for good use.
Waiting on
Well.
Amber to type her message.
Next time we go get supplies, we get a travel coffee maker.
Oh, those nice old coffee pots that like you just put on the fire and they bubble up and put the coffee in the top.
Campsite coffee pot, hell yeah.
Okay, put that on the list, Amber. I won't remember. Seeing as you totally called me out on not having the brain cell. So.
All right. As she sends that message, is there anything else the pair of you would like to discuss before I swap to the receiving end of that message?
Yes.
Okay.
Amber and I had been talking previously about bringing Terry on with some requests.
Ooh, I forgot we had been in fact discussing that.
Mainly if Terry can hook us up with something to block scrying eyes.
Oh, so you'd have to contact Terry first.
Yes. Don't exert yourself if today is not a good day, but I think the faster we maybe put the bug in her ear, the better results we can get. Either she can research where we could find something, or if she knows somebody that can collaborate with her to whip it up. I feel like she's probably going to be partnering with like an enchanter or something. I know her skills, but I don't know if this is exactly her wheelhouse.
At this point, I'm pretty sure the whole damn house is her wheelhouse, but I'll ask. I'm going to send another message.
Okay.
Would you like me to relink the spell?
No, you don't have to relink the spell. While you write that one, though, I will switch over to check on Garganoth and Malagos on the ship.
Normally, for sake and simplicity, I would have sent that message to Malagos. For story purposes, we're going to say I wound up sending it to Garganoth.
Is Garganoth familiar with these messaging things, or does he think that I don't know, the gods are talking to him or something?
I mean, you would hear Amber's voice inside your head.
Okay.
You may not remember how to reply because it's probably been a good long time since it was used on you, but I mean, the next 25 words out of Garganoth's mouth is going to be sent back.
Okay, and sorry, what was the message again?
Ship repairs being handled. Secured room for the night. Go along brick wall of city. Go around back. Ask for Lum. Bring coffee with you.
All right, Garganoth, just hearing the word coffee, is going to probably think of the cliche known as breakfast, and his immediate thoughts are going to be, "Oh, coffee! I hope that means there are some good hash browns or something too." Oh, wait. Oh, yeah. This is awkward. Okay, I'm coming.
Okay, so he says, "Okay, I'm coming." So that's 3. You said he thought the other things, so.
Oh no, I think that whole string.
Oh,
was
that
part
whole
of the-
thing? Okay.
Yeah, including the oh, this is
Thanks for the
awkward.
sub.
So, Malagos would be probably there, because I would imagine you guys would be on the deck, just kind of keeping an eye on the Imperial
Yeah.
as they walk back and forth along the deck. Malagos would kind of look at Garganoth and, what are you talking about? It's too late for
Oh.
breakfast.
You remember our dear friend Amber, right? The dragon,
Well, yeah, she was
cool
just
little
here.
dragon, one arm and all. Oh, great. Yes. Well, Amber says that the ship repairs are being handled. They secured a room for the night, and then to go along the brick wall of the city, go around the back, and ask for Lum. And where did I get coffee from? Oh, yes, bring coffee with us. Wait, do we have coffee?
I don't know if we have. I mean, we have coffee in the morning on the ship.
Garganoth will pull out his ship manifest and see if there's coffee remaining in the inventory. And if there is, he will pack some.
Travis, there's coffee left on the ship, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
After all, after alcoholic beverages, coffee is a soldier's best friend.
Oh, so they must have sent you a message. Is that what you were hearing?
Yes, probably. Yes, that would... Yes.
Okay. And they told you how to get there?
Go along the brick wall of the city, go around back, and ask for Lum, whoever that is. Or whatever that is, actually, now that I think about it.
This whole city's surrounded by a brick wall.
I would assume it's probably the one closest to us.
How far do we have to go along?
Not to intercede, but Hawks did give directions when he came back last time.
Oh, he did? To these two?
To anybody who is on deck, and I'm assuming we all were on deck.
That's probably correct. Okay.
Garganoth is going to make sure everything is going to be fine on the ship while he's gone, and then say, well, anything to get off of this thing for a while.
Garganoth, as you're kind of getting ready to leave with Malagos, you do notice one of the Imperial Guards speaking with the dock attendant at the beginning of the pier where you guys are docked at right now.
Okay. I guess I will approach and ask if everything is all right.
Okay. As you approach Garganoth, you overhear them talking a little bit, and the goblin's the first one to speak. Oh yeah, paid in full. Paid in full. Good for a whole week if they want. Well, you see, this ship isn't on any of our lists, and we're trying to figure out which name goes with the ship and who is its captain. We are looking for fugitives still, as you have been informed of. Well, it's so many ships come in and out. I'm sure they wrote their name down on the book. Oh, here comes one of them now. And he kind of nervously takes a step back. The guard regards you and Malagos, Garganoth. Hi, have you come from that ship over there?
Garganoth will give a quick salute and say, Yes, I have. Garganoth, at your service. How may I be of help?
First I must ask, what is the name of that ship?
Did we ever settle on a name?
Fairwinds.
Fairwinds.
Oh, yes, the Fairwind.
All right, and who is its captain?
Real quick, out of character, do we know if the fugitives are looking for includes Mia by that name?
It includes all of us by all of our names.
Yeah. The Lights Gambit. You guys are a pretty well-documented group. Except for maybe Hawks. And Amber.
And yeah,
Garganoth
probably
is
Amber
gonna-
and Hawks are the only ones that can be sort of sneaky at this point.
I guess Garganoth will, in his quick thinking, say something like, yes, Captain Liana.
Captain Liana. And he pulls out a bit of paper and kind of jots that down. All right, very well. We'll check this with our records, and if we have any more questions, we'll come back. Enjoy your day, citizen.
Oh, shit, I introduced myself by my name, didn't I?
Yes, you did. Yes, you did. And the guard kind of does kind of a at rest salute and turns around and begins to walk back north along the dock district.
Garganoth will call to the guard. Well, not like call after him, but before he leaves, he'll say like, since we're new around here, we just pulled in. Is there anything that needs to be done around here? We'd want to, be hospitable guests, if that makes sense. I suppose. Could I buy you and your fellow colleagues around, perhaps, when you're off work?
He kind of stops for a moment and thinks about it for a second. And with a smile, well, I suppose the others and I, we do like to go to the Yellow Rat Inn here in the port. If you want to buy us around, you can find us there after the sun goes down.
Perfect, we'll be there.
And he kind of gives a nod and turns to continue walking.
Okay, Malagos, I think I just made a big oopsie. We have to fix this.
I think you did too. How do you want to fix this?
That's a good question. Let's go find the others.
Okay, all right. So it takes a little bit of time because you're going across town, but eventually you do make it to Luff and Lum's, and after asking for Lum, the lizard folk sends you upstairs to the attic space of which your companions are currently using as housing.
I like to imagine Amber and Mia are in a very heated argument about coffee.
Hello. Okay, first things first. I brought coffee. I hope that makes everybody happy, and for the news I'm about to deliver.
You should have waited to tell them about the coffee, says Malagos.
What about the coffee and what news?
Well, coffee's here. Coffee's here. Here's the coffee.
Thank you.
Yes,
Nice
Mia,
warm.
coffee. Good
Well, soon to be
coffee.
ready warm coffee.
Not that swill you were trying to pitch me.
Look, I don't know what they're peddling in the middle of the desert, but when you put hazelnuts with your coffee. It is excellent. It is robust. It is nutty. I don't know what your problem is.
It is atrocious. You don't put nuts in your coffee. What is wrong with you? There are many things that are wrong with you. I've known you were insane. This is just proving it to me.
I think you are literally just doing the most to argue with me today.
You're the one who put hazelnuts in your coffee, and then you want to say I started the fight.
Because it's good. Do you not like nice things?
Oh, I love nice things. That's why I don't put nuts in my coffee.
No.
Okay, I just imagine Malagos and Gar just standing there wide-eyed watching the two of them.
Speaking of nutty, I may have made a grave error.
What do you mean?
I may or may not have introduced myself by name to a guard, just my first name.
Uh-huh.
He didn't seem to realize. Malagos playing wingman.
The guard asked for a captain name, and I gave the name of Liana, because that's the quickest version of Mia I could think of in the moment. And also I offered to buy the guard and his fellow compatriots a drink at the Yellow Rat Inn when the sun goes down.
There's so many questions. I have so many questions. Most of
Me
them
too.
are-
How's the food here?
What? No, we're not skirting around.
Oh,
this
right.
issue.
Sorry. Yes.
Wait.
My stomach got the better of me. My apologies.
Obviously, because look. I don't know if we all know the gravitas in which we are precariously sitting in this town right now. So, just walk me through from getting off the boat to disclosing personal information that one should keep to themselves. Just walk me through that.
Are we to assume that at this point of the story that I'm about to tell you, I already have the coffee with me, or is this before I go and get the coffee?
From the point that you step off the boat. So I'm assuming if you didn't go back to get coffee, that you already had coffee.
Okay. Well, I saw the dock hand speaking with a guard, and I couldn't tell if it was going well or bad, so I approached, and with a hearty hello greeted and said, "Hello, my name is Garganoth. How may I be of service?" And yeah.
Mia faints.
Oh, and then they asked for the captain name, and that's when I gave the name Liana.
Okay. Well, that's sorta not my name. So that's a start.
At least this didn't come from Hawks.
Yeah, it wasn't Hawks this time.
Okay. Well. What did Malagos, Garth, did you see any recognition? Did you perceive any hint across his features that he was picking up what you were not so subtly putting down?
Well, I'm fairly perceptive, but at the same time, I mean, he was smiling at me, especially when I offered to buy him drinks to do damage control after I realized my mistake, and
Is
he
this a
seemed well
one-on-one
receptive to this.
situation? Like if you go, you're just meeting him?
No, I offered to buy him around for him and his fellow guardsmen.
Oh, more than one guard.
Well, that's just where they hang out after work, I guess.
So if you go, you'll be surrounded by guards.
That would seem to be the case, yes.
Okay. And what are your thoughts on that?
In Gar's
Well, okay,
defense, at least we now know where the guards hang out at night.
Right, there was information gathered.
So here's what I'm thinking. Where there the two thoughts come to mind. First of all, how many Garganoths could there be in this town or in this world? I mean,
Do you
Garganoth.
want me to answer that truthfully?
No, perhaps not. Let's move on to the next thought. The next thought is, since we know where they're all going to be, we could always just lock the doors, put them to sleep, or how long do we need to spend in this town before leaving?
We're out tomorrow afternoon.
Okay.
Guard's drunk.
I don't want to. I like where your head's at with the putting them to sleep plan, but I also don't want to risk any civilian. Also, there is potential to get caught. You know, the more risk you take, the more potential.
That's true. Okay, I do have a serious idea, though. We could always plant somebody like Seren to be in the bar before sundown before they get there, and then maybe she could gauge whether or not they're preparing for an arrest ambush or whether it completely just skipped their mind. You know, maybe when they're checking into people's characters or backgrounds, it takes a business day or two. I mean, who knows? It could be an idea.
No, that's a good idea. Can we get Seren to go where she doesn't look obvious but doesn't look shady?
Possibly. I think Hawks also knows disguise. That could be another one. Also, if hypothetically they're not ready for an arrest ambush, I could get them all very, very drunk and very hungover for the next day, where they may even be late for work.
But you do risk somebody recognizing you.
That is true.
Mia, you would know that Seren can change her clothing and stuff using her armor.
I think that sending Seren out with the information is a good idea, a good solution. But I would also like to maybe have her spend some time watching the boat at night in case they do launch an attack, you know, if they're trying to catch us off guard and surprise us. Thanks for coming with solutions to the problem you created.
Oh, anytime. It's the least I can do. Always happy to be of help.
Thanks. Cool. Amber, you got any more messages in you?
What now?
Maybe tell Kyrie and party that now is the time to not engage with anyone. Do not look at a guard. Do not sneeze in a guard's direction. Keep to the shadows. Do not stop for shawarma. Do not stop for crab rangoons on the way. Nothing. If they've got what they got, they need to get here.
And keep hazelnut out of my coffee. Got it.
You don't need it. The wonderful thing about a beverage is it's personal and you don't have to yuck my yum, okay?
Well, I don't have to, but I enjoy it.
It's unfortunate that you have this character flaw.
There's many things I could talk about with your character flaws, but all of them are currently at the tower.
I embrace them.
No, I would say that your major character flaws could need to be embraced, but that would require a teleportation spell.
Okay, well, you're not wrong.
Okay. I'm going to cast Sending for the third time today. It's going to be upcast this time. Let me type something. You know, when I went to college to get an English degree, this is not what I intended to use my writing skills for, but I'm glad to know I'm at least using them for something.
Yeah, here we are. Brilliant.
Oh, so you're an English major?
Yes, it's why my friends don't play Scrabble with me.
In the meantime, I'll be pouring normal, boring coffee drinks for anybody who wants some.
Without the hazelnut.
Look, if you don't want to try something good, be my guest.
I feel like that's subjective.
You're not here to feel anything.
So, Amber, as you're starting to cast your third sending spell, you receive a message from Terry.
So as I'm sending one and one comes in, is there just like a beep in the back of my head, like when a voicemail comes in and it's just waiting for me to
Call
get off
waiting.
the phone so I can check it?
I mean, you would hear the words regardless.
Okay, fair enough. I'm going to burn through all of my spell slots today, and none of them are going to be actually doing combat things. It's literally going to all be being errand boy, messenger boy.
Gotta keep it around.
There's many reasons you keep me around.
Valid.
Okay. Message to Kyrie. And then I'm going to be replying to Terry.
Go, messenger dragon. Go.
Speak the message, Amber.
So, Kyrie, you would hear in your head, addition to plans, don't engage with the guards. They're looking for us. Garganoth introduced himself to one. Stay hidden. Once again, avoid the guards.
Once again,
Garganoth introduced himself to one. Nothing else needs to be said. Just
then there-
Garganoth being Garganoth.
Yeah.
Like the last word, since I only used 24, would just be a mutter in something draconic that Malagos would understand as the word fuckers.
Yep.
Listen,
Okay.
Garganoth was out in the sun a long time, and he forgot that, we're fugitives and all.
I feel like you're just too friendly, Garganoth. to
Yeah,
be-
no, I was gonna say Garganoth's just way too fucking friendly to be any sort of criminal on the run.
It's part of his charm, though.
Yeah, unfortunately, it doesn't do us a lot of good at the moment.
Maybe the guard's gonna think, well, there's no way a real fugitive would introduce himself by name. He wouldn't be that stupid. I mean, who knows? Anything can happen.
I've heard far more insane reasons for why a criminal managed to get away, so
We are going to stay with this group for the aftermath of Terry's message. And then we'll switch to the shopping group.
The sending spell has to be spoken aloud. How loud?
Just has to be spoken audibly.
Okay. So yes, after I send the message to Kyrie, I will relay to Mia. There's reasons I was asking about how loud I had to be.
Yep.
I relay to the group. All right, I've heard back from Terry. She knows of many different ways. Some we already know: visibility potions, cloaks, scrolls. High elves apparently are someone that she would recommend specializing in these kinds of fields, and criminal guilds. Assuming that Seren would prefer to avoid any sort of crime family activity, we should probably attempt, at least, more lawful means than unlawful for the moment.
Yes, well, straight up invisibility is not what we're looking for.
No.
Is there a way to specify that we're looking to avoid being scryed upon or magically located? If that can narrow down suggestions.
Well, I can ask her again. I can see what we can find out as far as scrying, but she didn't specify anything, but then again, nor did I. And given at least one person that we know is penchant for mind rummaging, I am trying to stay a little vague.
Right. Well, I think mind rummaging and you're like, we want to hide from people.
Amber, give me a concentration check.
Just a check or a save?
Yeah, save. Yeah. Okay. Thank you.
I'm now very nervous. I don't like when you randomly ask me to make, especially Constitution saves.
Continue. Sorry.
But I can ask again. I'll ask about if Terry has any recommendations in this area.
Yes, maybe a contact.
And then we can go from there. Again, if possible, would probably be best to pursue lawful avenues, at least to start with. We are, at least most of us, are some sort of fugitive.
Oh no.
Although, if they're looking for the Light's Gambit, and I have not been officially inducted into Light's Gambit,
you're now guilty by association, sorry.
I have no doubt of that. That's not what I'm worried about. If they don't know I'm with you, or if we have less reason to believe I'm with you, me walking around is probably less noticeable than, say, Malagos. Or you, especially.
Yes. That is a point to be made.
If and when I get a message back from Terry, if that's an avenue we want to pursue, that would probably be something best discussed with our group when we have everyone here.
Mm-hmm. Were you ever seen by anyone of the Royal Guard?
I don't think so. I've been living in a desert for the last very long time. And I did have my hood up when we walked in, when we came into town.
Yes. Yeah, I mean, I agree with the statement. So if push comes to shove and we absolutely have to send someone out that's not Seren for whatever reason.
What have I done?
You're recognizable. You're part of Light's Gambit.
I said that's what part. Why are you taking offense to a benign statement? I said if we have to send someone out that's not you for whatever reason.
I'm insulted greatly.
I don't know why.
No one ever sees me. I am the night. I am the dark.
Well,
I am the shadow.
Batman gets recognized too, so.
Yeah. Okay. The night. Get down with your bat self. That's always an option. To send you around to assist in things that can't be done from the night. What is our plan from now until the time we step back on that ship? I think we need to have a solid understanding and a consensus, and then we need to tell the group what we've been thinking, because I haven't discussed with everyone what we're going to ask of Terry.
Well, that would probably be, in an ideal situation, we'd have the whole group here to discuss the plan. But we should probably, obviously, get the ship repairs finished. We should get out of here as soon as possible. But that's easier said than done.
Yes. I'm concerned if we can't make it back to the ship unnoticed.
We got off the ship unnoticed. Big crowds are easy to hide in. If we can go during peak I don't know. Do shipyards have busy hours? If we go during peak busy hours, well, it'll be easier to blend in and escape.
It depends on the town and who's coming to port.
Well, that's wildly unhelpful.
Would I know typically what the busier times for an average port is going to be?
Well, I mean, in the morning, a bunch of the ships leave, like for fishing and trade routes and such. They could come back anywhere from midday to early evening. Not a lot of ships arrive at night because of how dangerous that is. So, yeah, there's your information.
Midday, morning, right? It makes sense because everyone's going out. But like if they leave in the morning, it's early. Typically, they're getting out to fish and things before the sun rises. Midday, they might come back.
Midday, if we go when trading vessels are in and out, people will be around. Families will be doing what families do at docks. What do they do? Do they throw the children? Do they throw the children in the water? Is that a thing?
If the children are lucky. Isn't that how you learn to swim? You
I wouldn't know. I don't. Mia, I don't know how to swim. I have fire. I don't interact with water.
Oh, you should learn to float at least. Yikes.
It's never been an issue before.
You've never floated in a bathtub? Like you got real sad and you're like, this is my existence now. And then
I haven't had a chance. I haven't had a chance to be depressed about my existence recently, have I?
I didn't know what your life was before. It seemed like it could be depressing.
That's fine before, thank you.
Well, if Amber wants to know, there really were no bathtubs back at the castle. There was a natural hot spring underneath the castle that was fed by a spring, and that's where all of the draconic beings would bathe and take out chipped scales and such.
Amber is having these flashbacks, but is not saying any of this out loud.
Okay. Just that information is there in case you needed it.
Yeah. Well, if it was just Mia, Amber would have said something, but because there's at the is Seren back at this point? Did Seren ever come
No
back?
one's talked to me. I'm chilling in alleyways.
Yeah, Seren's still out at the city, so is the shopping group, which will be going to them shortly. It is you
Okay.
two, Garganoth, Malagos, and Galloy. Yeah.
Alloy. Yeah, so then I wouldn't mention anything about dragons, especially in front of Galloy, but if it was just Mia, it would have been different, but no, Amber wouldn't say anything about anything like that. Especially after the whole, oh, that's a dragon, I need to murder it incident with Galloy. Which, while she understands, she still doesn't appreciate.
No one appreciates someone trying to kill them.
No.
So.
I mean, I respect it.
I think that's a better way to put that. Is like I respect why he did it. It doesn't mean I like it. But to continue the conversation about Amber's bathing habits. No, Mia, there's generally not that much water available in a desert. I wasn't going to be bathing in the oasis.
Get a good sand scrub going.
Like a chinchilla.
Pretty much. That's kind of what I'm imagining is like a sand bath, especially to get the loose scales up.
But
With like maybe a wipe down with a cloth or something.
Like when you got sandblasted.
What does getting sandblasted have to do with my lack of ability to swim?
Well, that's my thing. It's like, wouldn't you be itchy and then you would like want to refreshingly cool off in a bathtub? That, you know what? Never mind.
No. No, because I usually just wiped down with a cloth. A nice cold cloth.
We all learned way too much about Amber this session. That's all I'm
So
saying.
boring.
You can entirely blame Mia for that. She brought up my bathing habits.
I am concerned. Okay, cool. Well, swim lessons for another day, yeah. What were we talking about?
Amber's bathing habits, and then contacting the shopping group, and then Seren, and then we're going to work out what the plan is for tonight.
When the shopping groups comes back, I'm sure they could tell Seren that we've all congregated if Seren hasn't found anything worth staying out for. But right, leaving time. So my thought is that if we have Seren go to the Yellow Rat, was that it, Garth?
Yes.
She can maybe gather like what time the shift change is. So if we sneak around during shift change, that's more pandemonium and less prying eyes, maybe.
Well, prying eyes is a risk we have to take until I hear back from Terry.
And then Garth doesn't leave this room without a disguise prior.
I wonder why.
Listen here, Hoxlina.
Yeah.
Anyway,
Huxley May.
let's check in on our shopping group. We will start with we'll start where Kyrie gets the message from Amber.
Okay, I do have a question. So, does like the first things I say go back to her as a message, or do I have to like intentionally start saying my response to her?
Once you decide to reply, 25 words.
Okay, perfect. Now we had left the shop, didn't we?
I believe we did.
Okay.
If we're talking the blacksmith shop, I don't think we'd actually left when the session ended.
Oh, did we not? Okay. Well then, yeah.
No.
I think it was one of those we had started to turn towards the door, but had not actually left.
Okay.
So yeah, as you're starting to decide to leave, that's when the message comes.
Okay. So, Kyrie will say pleasant goodbyes and whatnot, and hope that the other two follow.
I'll follow.
I guess I'm following you guys.
Okay. Kyrie will find a spot where there's really no one around. So I say, we need to go. Garganoth made an oopsie, and they may know we're here. I know where to go.
So, no tampering with the guard at the moment.
What?
So, kind blacksmith back there asked me to get back some money she's owed due to a set of armor being commissioned by a member of the guard not actually being paid for when he took it.
Oh, that sounds like the worst thing that we could do right now.
Awesome. I'm just going to go buy that armor and leave with a full apology that, sorry, shit came up.
Yep. Good plan. Did you have enough money on you?
You just loaned me like 30 platinum pieces to help pay for the armor. I don't remember how much money Dumey said I would have been carrying on me. Something like 250 gold pieces?
I hope you would have put it in your character sheet.
I thought I did.
It'd probably been more like 25.
25.
You're a military person. You're not an adventurer.
Huh.
I mean, okay, so let me explain. So, cost per day to live in a D&D world for a comfortable person is 2 gold pieces a day.
Right.
So, a modest wage is like, well, not wage, but cost of living is like 1 gold piece. So, maybe 50 gold pieces. Maybe 50. But, yeah, a soldier doesn't make a whole lot.
I'm a sergeant. Would I be making more based on that?
You bump you up to 75 gold. That would be more than enough.
All right. How much did you say the armor I was looking at had cost?
Oh my goodness, I don't remember.
Neither do we.
10 gold pieces.
Was it 10?
That sounds right.
That sounds...
Yeah, let's go with that.
I have no idea.
That sounds fair. Wait, what kind of armor was it?
It was like 250 gold pieces.
Oh, it was like
Yeah,
250
More than
gold
that. It
pieces.
was a lot.
Yeah. Yeah, it was like it was a breastplate, pauldrons, and some God, what was it? Not gauntlets,
Yeah, we'll say 200.
200.
Yeah, we'll say 200.
And so with the 30 platinum pieces Kyrie loaned me.
You only need 20 of those.
Cool. Gonna return to the Orcish Smith. So something came up with my group. I'm not gonna be able to take that job for you. 20 platinum work for payment.
Yeah, sure. That'll work out fine, I suppose.
Sorry about that. I would have loved to have helped you, but
Just sign the logbook here with the amount you paid, and that way I have a record of it, and I'll package up the set for you.
awesome. And I don't have to worry about, and out of character, I don't have to worry about the guard finding anything suspicious about this because I'm not associated with Light's Gambit. Yay!
That's great.
That you know
All
of.
assumption.
Or because you said something came up with my group and they have connected the dots, then you're now part of the problem. Anything is possible.
So many ways everything could go, but
Only Dumey knows.
only me. She has the armor wrapped up in a cloth, bound up by some rope, and she takes a quick look at the ledger, makes sure the price is correct, and lets the armor slide across to you.
Thanks. Thank you.
Pleasure doing business with you.
As always, pleasure doing business with a good smith.
And she goes back to working at her forge.
All right, I return to Kyrie and Foxlina.
Alright, so I guide the group through to I can't remember the name of the place with the
Fluff and Mum.
instructions. Yeah, with the instructions given.
Well, Kyrie, as your group is going, you do notice a group of Imperial Guards wandering the streets. the lead guard is sending different guards into different buildings as the group continues on.
Okay. Since we're all disguised, I'll just say act natural.
Huh?
We've got nothing to hide right now.
Performance checks.
Smile and wave, boys. Smile and wave.
Smile and wave.
Don't even smile and wave.
Don't smile, don't wave, just be normal.
Cox.
Unless you're a pack of penguins.
Okay.
How does the bard have the lowest performance roll?
Group check
Stuffer.
passed.
Oh, thank God.
You guys successfully act nonchalant as you walk past the group of guards. And make your way to Luff and Lums.
And we look for the skull because we don't know the name.
Well, you're asking for Lum, and Luff is at the counter. And Luff kind of tilts his head a little bit. What the?
Jeez.
Everybody good? Everybody okay?
Somebody dropped some coins.
Oh, something just fell off the wall, that's all.
Oh, fun.
Oh, are the ghosts acting up again?
Apparently, yeah.
Bastards.
Who you gonna call?
Extra spooky time for D&D.
Holy shit, okay. Anyway, he kind of tilts his head. Kind of tilts his head to the side and gives a sigh and motions the three of you to follow. As he leads you up the crooked stairs up to the attic to the rest of your group. So, how many of you did you say there were?
I didn't. You didn't ask.
Right. And he just kind of throws up his hand and walks out of the attic, leaving the entire group together minus one.
Thanks, because you were paid not to ask questions. Love that.
All right. So, what happened, and why is the guard all stirred up now?
All I told them was an oopsie happened with Garganoth.
For the moment, it doesn't seem like, to our knowledge, we've been found out, but Garth did make contact with a guard after being, advised to lay low. And I know that no one else in this group was going to go looking for a guard after being advised to lay low. Am I right?
Correct-ish?
Ish.
Kyrie's eyes look over to Travis.
It's just
Travis
for an old,
avoided, don't worry.
we're just gonna look for an old friend of mine.
No, that doesn't seem like a good idea. Why would you want to let people know you're in town? It wasn't well, I'm wrong. It was a rhetorical question. There really is no answer to that.
Yeah.
But we have a plan to mitigate that. Kyrie or whomever, I've kind of overtapped Amber. We need to get in contact with Seren and ask her where she is and where she plans on being in the next couple hours, because Garganoth found out that a lot of the guards go to a tavern by the docks. And if we can send her in there to maybe gather information on if they do know where we are, if they're planning a coup, when their shift changes, some good information that we could get that'll help us get back to the ship unseen and fuck off this town without having to kill anyone.
I just realized I never did actually reply to Amber.
No.
Oops.
Yeah, you just kind of showed up, like, oh, okay, that worked.
Yeah.
Yeah, I figured I would save it in case we ran into trouble.
Which luckily we didn't.
Yeah. Whew.
But yeah, so that's mainly what we were discussing prior to your arrival. There's also a couple things that we wanted to go over as well regarding staying under the radar. So Travis, we have some people we're trying to avoid, and those people that we're trying to avoid have the ability by magical means to see where we are kind of whenever they feel like it, and I don't like that. I'd really love to avoid that situation if at all possible. So I have a mutual friend with Amber. Somebody I used to work for is a very high-level artificer. And we want to partner with her or contacts that she may have.
You're talking about Terry, aren't you?
Yeah. You know Terry.
Who do you think sent me, right in the middle of your group when we first met?
Did we already discuss this and I'm just got hit on the head?
He was express mailed to us.
In the same manner that Mia and Jason was, but he was holding the chocolate.
Ooh. Never mind. Ignore that first part of me explaining who she is. Anyway, we want to partner with Terry and have her hook us up with somebody who can create something anti-scrying, whether that be a piece that we have to wear, a potion, a scroll.
Cool. Question for the DM.
Firstborn child, I don't know.
Yes.
Question for the DM. Does Travis actually know Terry enough for sending to work?
Okay, somebody you met.
You don't have to
okay.
know them. You just have to know what they look like, really.
Yep. That's pretty much it.
Cool.
But
I will get to work on a message for Terry.
Amber's already been in contact with Terry, so I don't want to overload her with jumbled information.
Cool. Amber, did you already specify what information we needed, or actually, yeah, no. Did Amber actually send the message for the one to Terry?
I sent the first one. I haven't technically sent the second one yet.
Okay.
Oh, you didn't send the second one yet?
Oh no, wait. I'm sorry. I lied. I forgot. I sent a first one. Yes. No, I have sent the second one.
Okay.
I have in fact sent Lights Idiots.
Amber, as he mentions that, you realize that through the magical sense that all casters have, they know when their spells are not effective, and your spell did not go through.
Huh. Well, I sent the first message. She responded. I sent the second message. And it didn't connect. Is this a common thing with Terry, or is this something that I'm now concerned about?
There's a 5% chance the message just doesn't arrive.
It may have happened once before. But no, not a common thing.
Okay, so in the various times that I would have messaged Terry with the random things that I would send her, just because, you know, Amber would absolutely ask Terry weird random questions at like 3:00 in the morning.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's happened probably one other time.
Okay. Well, Terry hasn't responded. There's always a chance that the spell fails, but this isn't like her.
There's also a chance that she's traveling. She did say that she's been working on some big projects, right?
She's always working on big projects. You know this.
Right.
Should I try to get a sending to her?
Have at. If he's not able to connect, I'm going to be a little more concerned, because usually if she doesn't respond the first time, she responds the second time. I say usually as if this has happened more than the number of times I can count on my hand.
We will have to cross that bridge when we get there.
We also may need to assume that as of this moment, we don't have access to any of Terry's resources or knowledge. She recommended high elves as people to work with. That's an avenue we can explore. Whenever we reacquire Seren, we can discuss the criminal aspect, but at this moment, unless Travis gets a response, we should assume we're on our own.
Correct. Who knows? Maybe we can pick something up either along the way when we talk to the druids or get to the vaults, but I would have liked to have something in place, at least an idea of something before then. But there's not much we can do.
Did we ever ask Luff if he has a bribable errand boy?
No, because you got coffee delivered.
Oh, fair enough.
What was that?
It was what?
I don't know.
Oh.
I heard it too, but I don't know what it was.
Thank you for the follow, Pumpkin Cake.
Oh, yay! Oh,
Yay.
man, pumpkin cake
Adorable.
sounds so good right now. A pumpkin
Yes.
roll with like some cream cheese frosting and like a caramel drizzle.
Oh, stop.
You lost me at cream cheese, but I liked everything else.
Well, fine. Then we'll do like buttercream for you or something.
Oh, how sweet.
I got you. Don't worry.
Thanks.
But damn, nice pumpkin roll sounds good, especially because we're getting into pumpkin season.
Yeah, what a timely name to have on Twitch. Pumpkin Cake.
Right?
Oh, absolutely, man! I'm gonna have to find somewhere that's got like a pumpkin roll cake, because everybody knows pumpkin cake roll cake is the best. Oh, damn it! Now I want pumpkin cake.
Yeah, now I need something, a snack.
I was already hungry. Now I'm extra hungry.
Well, we can take a short 5-minute break and then check in with Seren after the break.
Do we want to wait? Do we want to wait
Gives me
for
time
Travis to
to
finish
type
his
out.
message, or do we want to check in with that after the break as well?
We can check in with
Let's
that
check in
after
with
the
that
break as
after
well.
the break because I'm still getting that typed out.
Oh my god, type faster, jeez.
I'm sorry, I've never been the best at impromptu text message.
Oh my god, learn your improv, jeez.
I can improv verbally. Typing it out. Yeah.
Skill issue.
That's always been my kryptonite.
That's fair.
Yeah, issue.
Yeah, so we will be right back, everyone. All right, are we all back?
One moment, I am grabbing Chip.
in body or in spirit, Dumey?
Hopefully both. Or I have failed.
Anyway, what were we doing?
Panicking.
We were gonna
Figuring
check.
out a plan.
Yep, we were gonna check on Seren wandering the streets by herself, unsupervised.
And Travis was writing a message to June.
Terry.
Sending to Terry.
My bad. Wrong person.
I'm not sure
I'm the
June's going to
worst
be able to
remembering.
help you all.
Probably not. My
You're all
brain.
beyond help. Let's be
Well, the fact that June's going to be a
I was about
hag.
to say, what does this have to do with the kid?
She's a hag.
There is a reason I did not pipe up for the recap. I don't remember anything.
June is not a hag. June is
June-
a little girl.
She's a
At
kid.
the moment she's a kid, eventually she's going to be a hag.
She might not actually be related to her grandma.
That's true.
Just saying.
I don't think she is.
Just look
Her
into how
grand-
hags reproduce in your free
Oh
time.
no.
No.
Mhm.
Yeah, no, it's
Wanna-
a little
No.
it's a little fucked up.
So
Anyway, should
anyway,
I read off my message to Terry first, or should we just?
we'll get into Sarah and then we'll get back to yours.
Cool.
Seren will have decided that these aren't the normal rogues she deals with because she's too far up north for any of her regular compatriots.
Mm-hmm.
She's gonna head to the dock and try to find out which crime group runs the docks to see if she can pay to make sure just to investigate, to have a snoop about who actually runs the dock.
Okay. So, as you make your way from Dark Mill towards the port, you do notice an increased presence of Imperial. So,
I'm gonna change what I'm wearing so I blend in more with regular people.
okay. They're not stopping people on the street. They're just going into different shops, different places of business, and after staying for a few minutes, coming back out.
It sounds like they're looking for someone. As someone who has been on the receiving end of the guards looking, I feel like Seren would know what that looks like, potentially.
Yeah, that's a pretty good assumption. They are definitely looking for something or someone. But you don't have any of the other knowledge about
Yeah.
anything else, so
If I did have more knowledge, I probably wouldn't be going to the docks.
perhaps not. So as you make it to the port, what are you looking for exactly?
I'm looking for crime symbols that I may know of, anything scratched on the walls in Thieves' Cant. Just basically looking for a front. Or a fence.
There is a washing company that you notice that has the same theater mask on the sign as you noticed on the goblin.
Cool. Cool. I'm gonna walk in.
Okay. Well, as you walk in, it's kind of a industrial kind of washing place where they take, the tarps and the sails, and it's where they get cleaned and repaired. They deal more in bulk rather than clothing, it appears. The name of the establishment is called Clean Hands.
Nah, ironic.
There is currently at the moment no one behind the counter, but there is a small little bell.
I'm not gonna ding the bell, I'm just gonna walk through.
You gonna walk through to the back?
Yep.
Okay. So, as you walk back behind the counter and towards one of what could only be considered a back office kind of thing, as soon as you start to open the door, there is a very large hand that kind of grips the door.
Oh,
And a face.
oh, this would be someone I recognize.
A face stares down at you as you have come across one of the more giant races standing at the door.
Is there anyone I can speak to about how the dock here works?
You're not supposed to be back here.
I know. I can't help myself. I see an unattended desk and employees only don't walk through here sign. I just can't help myself when I need to talk to people to work out how things work around here.
Boss don't like visitors.
I'm gonna say in thieves can't. Well, I am a visitor and I'm here and I'm gonna go speak to your boss. So.
No. Clug's supposed to stop visitors.
Plug, you are doing such a good job at your job, but can you please let your boss know that a particular person named Salem is here to talk to him, please, about business? Please.
Seren, roll me a dexterity check. Or dexterity save,
No.
sorry.
Oh. What the fuck?
Seren, there is a rather not super quick, but surprisingly so for how large this humanoid is. Clug opens the door quickly and reaches down with a heavy, massive paw of a hand and grips you by your shoulder and lifts you from the floor.
Oh, this is uncomfortable. Oh, well. Could be worse. This is fine.
Clug, best at job. No visitors.
Plug. There are guards wandering around going into different establishments. I need to talk to your boss now. I'm in a similar line of business.
Are you trying to persuade? Are you trying to...
I'm trying to persuade, because I won't be able to intimidate him.
Alright, give me a persuasion check. 21 versus intelligence.
Yay!
So, for a moment, Clug regards you. And on the kind of stubbly face, you can almost see the smoke coming out of his ears. It looks like he's thinking really hard.
Aw, buddy.
And this goes on for a moment or two until suddenly his face comes to a realization. And the grip on your shoulder gets a little tighter. Give me a constitution check.
A, B, C. Oh, there's Constitution.
Yeah, Constitution's the main stat. 12. Take 1 damage from him squeezing really tight. And instead of letting you go, he pulls you into the office and closes the door. And then turns with his hand extended forward, holding you by the shoulder still, and starts to walk further into the building. Clug, take you to boss. Clug,
Thank you,
not
Clug.
make decision.
Thank you, Clug.
Welcome.
Aww.
And Clug walks.
I want a Clug. Mia, can I take Clug with me?
No.
That's what we need, a kobold and a giant. So Clug walks and brings you into the back, and you can see like the machinery that's there to stretch out the sails and to fix up the sails, and there are many different species, you know, basic laborers working, cleaning up these items and getting them folded and prepped to be sent back out. As they go all the way, as you are carried like this, a few people eye the situation in front of them, but it appears that they know better than to ask questions. And so they just kind of keep their head down and keep on going. As Clug takes you further in, you finally arrive at kind of a door, and Clug reaches over and very gingerly knocks on this door. And there's no sound for a moment. You don't hear anything. And Clug reaches down and knocks again. Yeah! What is it? Clug kind of stands up a little straighter. Clug brought... What was his name again?
Salem.
Clug brought Salem to see boss.
Aww.
And there's this bit of silence again. And then the door opens. And there is a red-feathered Kenku standing there in a very fine suit jacket with a small top hat that's kind of trimmed in gold on his head. And his eyes look upward at Claude. And then he looks over to Seren that's dangling there. Claude, I said no visitors.
Hey,
You
be nice
had-
to Clug. I confused him.
You had one job. Claude, sorry. She says she needed to talk to the boss. And he eyes Seren again for a moment. Give me one reason in 5 words or less that I don't let Claude over here flatten you into one of the sails.
I'm going to tell you all after what my brain first thought, but I'm not going to share that now because Doom will use that as my first 5 words.
Yeah, I will.
I want information about port. The port. But I can't put the in, so it's like an imaginary the. And I say that and thieves can't.
He takes a moment. Clud. Set her down. Okay, boss. Clud sets her. Like, it's not gentle. It's more of just like he relaxes his grip and drops you from like 3 feet. But it's enough. All right, Clud. Go back. Watch the door. Do not let anyone in. Understand? Yes, boss. Watch door good. No one come in. All right. He looks at Seren, kind of takes a step back. Come in. Let's talk.
Thank you.
And Clud just kind of lumbers back through the facility to where he was originally stationed. The Kinku shuts the door as Seren enters, and he walks back over to where his desk was. And he kind of straightens out his suit jacket and sits down. What family are you from?
Oh, I'm not currently with a family. I was with a family, but I'm kind of... We're taking a break.
You and I both know that once you're with one of the families, you're always with one of the families.
I'm aware, but I'm living fairly solidly in denial about having to, you know, be back.
Well, denial aside, which one?
The Shanties down south. But it's been about 2 years since I've seen them.
A bit far north, aren't you?
It was intentional.
This isn't some backhanded grab for power in my territory, is it?
No offense, I have better things to do with my time than deal with, like, squabbling crime families.
For someone who wants information, you're not very polite about it, girlie.
I'm just being realistic. You don't want me to come into into your territory? I have no interest. I'm not here as a member of the Shanties. I'm trying to get as far from them as possible. I have no interest in you or your business or taking over any sort of territory.
I suppose that's all right. And he kind of leans back in his chair a little bit. So, not promising that I will help or that I even can help, but what is it you're looking for?
Well, clearly, I'm assuming you guys have the territory of the docks down here, so you probably have a good idea of how things run and which ships come and which ships go.
Mostly.
You wouldn't have your ear to the ground by any chance about a ship that arrived this morning called the Fair Winds, and you wouldn't happen to know what the Imperial Guard knows about them?
See now, information on the Imperials, that's a whole different class of information. When it comes to the day-to-day happenings within Nioth, that's one thing. You're asking for something much more expensive.
start with what your understanding of the ship, the Fairwind, is, and then we can discuss payment to find out what the Imperials know about Fairwinds. Because I thought it would be impolite for me to snoop in on your territory.
I don't normally give freebies, but I like your attitude. What I will share is a ship, which on paper is called the Fair Winds, but is labeled as something completely different on the bow. Came into port about mid-morning today and has not left since. I also know that a wonderfully studious pair of brothers is going to be working on said ship to make it, let's say, match its paperwork.
That sounds about right. So, what do the Imperial Guards know?
You see, now, further information comes with a fee, as I'm sure you well know.
Of course. I would not expect such a good businessman as yourself to give information freely. That would be bad business. And you'd probably look bad in the eyes of your competitors if you did so.
Mm-hmm. So what are you offering as a transaction?
How much do you want for it?
Oh, you and I know very well money is easy to come by. It's favors and actions that are hard.
I am here until tomorrow afternoon, I believe. What do you need to have done? I'm sure you're aware that I'm a thief by trade.
I wasn't, but I am now. And if you're part of Mother's group, that makes sense.
Your mother's group?
Oh no, your mother's group.
Oh no, she's not my mom.
Well, if you're part
If
of the
anything,
family,
she's
she is.
I guess.
Anyway, let's just say... I do have a job. Something that's quick. You might need an extra hand or two, but, it's
My
not
only stipulations are I don't kidnap children anymore.
Oh, no, of course not. Of course not.
Okay.
We don't need to deal with children. Not at all.
Cool.
There is, however, a ship in the harbor that is carrying something that I would like to have my hands on.
Is it a gemstone by any chance?
No, it is not a gemstone. But it might be something that you are familiar with.
Yes.
There is a ship in the harbor that seems to be carrying, from what their manifest says, 4 crates of tiborium dust.
Would I know what tiborium dust's used for?
Yes, you guys have actually come across it a few times. Tiborium dust is the refined and usable version of toberite. Can be used to replace almost any required magical component or reagent.
Ooh. Ah, I see why you may want something as valuable as that.
Even just 1 crate would be of use, but more than one might garner a bit more favor between rival families, as it were.
So I'm assuming I only get the information after I complete the job.
You are a smart one.
know this information is as valuable as me spending my time doing the work for you.
See, and that's where you won't. Because you just have to trust. You come into my territory and ask for a favor from me. And in order to gain that favor, you must take this job. Because you see, if you get caught, it can't be traced back to me because you're not one of mine. And if you don't get caught, then we both profit.
But I could trace it back to you because you know I'm new in town and I was just looking for work. How was I meant to know?
Oh yes, how was a career thief supposed to know?
Yeah, fair. So I'm assuming I'm gonna have to find my own help rather than you sending, because I can get into the boat. How am I gonna get the crates off the boat? Am I allowed to use your help? Any of your hired hands? Or am I alone?
Oh, if you set a time, I could have a smaller ship passing the docked vessel at the right time in order to accept the falling crate before it hits the water.
Sounds good. Oh, and I'm all happy to do that. I reckon the ship will probably be coming by probably about 2 a.m. when people are leaving the pub and it's quite noisy and rowdy, I'd assume. Around that time is when there's lots of people being drunk.
Yeah, that
and the
could be
ship's gonna
arranged.
Be a little bit quieter.
That could definitely be arranged.
Oh, one last thing I did forget to mention. If I get all 4 of those crates for you, you're going to make sure no one goes on the fair wind.
If you were able to get all 4 crates, I could probably arrange a bit of covert. We'll just say your ship would be safe, yes.
Amazing. Alrighty, make sure that ship is going past at around 2 a.m.
Wonderful. And, before you go, the ship in question holding the crates is called the Vanquisher.
And who would own the Vanquisher?
That would be the Imperial ship, wouldn't it?
Well, of course, the Imperial Guards, Miss Salem.
That's fine. That's fine. I've robbed the royal treasury twice. How hard can it be?
Well, wonderful. Seems we have someone with a pedigree.
Don't insult me.
Oh, this far the greatest compliment.
Excellent. So I expect your boat to be around that boat at around 2 a.m. If you miss it, you will have to find the powder at the bottom of the ocean, because I'm not getting it for you.
Oh, don't worry. We'll have someone there to save the crate from the water. Just make sure it's off the boat by then.
Excellent. And then as I'm walking out, I'm going to say, I'm going to hold up my end of the bargain. If you screw me over, I will skin you. And then I'm going to politely smile and wave and walk out.
You just hear him kind of chuckle. And he says nothing else as you leave. Do you leave the facility at that point?
I do, and then I'm going to take several different back alleys to make sure I wasn't followed.
Okay. Just a quick stealth check.
Do we even have to do stealth checks at this point?
Yes, because there's always a chance that you'll critically fail it.
Which means it'll be a 24.
All right. So yeah, around it was midday. We'll say around just before supper time. Seren makes it back to Luff and Lums.
All right, I'm going to walk in and I'm going to say, okay, guys, I know at 2 a.m. I am going to have all of the information we possibly need to know about what the Imperials know about what we're doing.
Okay.
I will know all of the intel at 2 a.m.
What's going down at 2 a.m. that you will know all the information?
Yeah, how?
I'm doing... Oh, and in return, no one's going to board our ship.
That's...
Okay. Why would they have?
I didn't realize we were concerned about that in the first place.
You're in a port with 3 different crime families. And Imperial Guards. Just saying.
So did you secure protection from all of the crime families or just one?
Well, crime families don't like fighting, and what I'm collecting would potentially help with the conflict between the little guilds. I can't really call them crime families, I'll call them guilds.
That didn't
So
really answer the question.
did you secure protection from one of the crime families or all of them?
Probably just one of them, but it's the one that runs the docks. So if anything gets stolen, I can hunt them down and ask who it was, and I'll get all the information.
Why 2 a.m.?
I'm sorry, what?
I'm gonna try that again.
You sound like me when I first got up.
I'm going to be having a look into the inventory of one of the ships on the docks and procuring 4 boxes.
And before you enunciated that, I did hear the word Imperial, so do you want to skirt back to that description?
In return for a significant amount of information about what the Imperial Guard knows about us as a group and the boat we're on.
Did you get the promise of significant amount of very important information? Or...
I am assuming that with my pedigree, he knows that if he doesn't give me information that makes me satisfactory, there would be repercussions. And I can always just not deliver the goods to him.
We're going to steal from an Imperial ship on an assumption.
A well-educated guess.
It's the
and honesty amongst thieves.
That can't be a thing. I refuse.
It is genuinely a thing.
Okay, before I go sit myself in a corner and rock back and forth, I'm gonna say this one time. I do not understand what no one understands about laying low.
I am laying low. They won't catch me.
And avoiding the fucking guards.
They won't catch me, and I have a solution. So basically...
Ever perfect. I don't care how skilled you are, you cannot account for every single variable that could happen.
No, I can't. But the plan is that I'm going to climb onto the boat and steal 4 crates of the, I wrote it down but spelt it wrong, this powder stuff. That can be used, what's it called again? Torben powder?
Toborian
powder, 4 crates of it. I'm going to toss them out of the window of the ship, and there's going to be a boat that passes past at 2 a.m.
And nobody hears...
No, they're going to be caught before they hit the water.
And we don't think that there's going to be anyone patrolling the side of the ship.
I'll deal with that.
Oh,
Didn't
I'm not gonna kill anyone.
Garganoth
I'm not gonna kill
mention-
anyone. I'm gonna
Okay,
do my
Travis.
best to not kill anyone.
you do realize that this is stupid, right?
I've done more stupid things.
I'm glad you're proud of that.
Oh, I'm just being honest. Hey, at least I didn't give them my real name.
Great.
Low blow.
You were trying to say something, Travis?
Did Garganoth not mention something about the guard being at the Yellow Rat at night?
But doesn't mean that they're the ones that are on this ship.
Oh, and the ship hasn't got a scary name at all. It's just called the Vanquisher.
Uh-huh.
Well, of course it's got a scary name.
That's so
It's an
much more
Imperial warship.
reassuring.
It's an Imperial warship. Why wouldn't we give it an intimidating or scary name?
Why are people making decisions on their own?
Okay, look, I just thought that it'd be a better idea for me to go through a fence to get information about what the Imperials know, rather than, like, breaking into offices
I'm
to collect
going
info.
to assume that the people that are here, because we haven't seen a huge presence, are not, like, general status. So
You say that, but they were, like, looking for someone this afternoon. I don't know why, but they were looking for someone. Like, maybe they already know we're here. Like,
so if they already know we're here, we're going to put ourselves in.
no, because I believe in honor amongst thieves, but I was gonna leave a Goodfellows calling card where the crates were. Or I could not upset another crime family. Either or. I'll leave that up to you guys to decide.
Well,
My call out here, my main piece of feedback, if you will, is that you are pushing for us to make decisions as a group and a conglomerate, if you will. This was not done that way, and it seems mighty hypocritical, if you will, at a time that it's very important that we come in, get shit done, and leave.
Well, that's what I'm trying to do, because at the moment we don't have a plan about how to get information on what the Imperials know about our ship. At the moment we know nothing. And using a fence is the best way to get information in a town where I don't know the criminals. If we were further down south, I'd have my own ways of doing things, but up here, this is out of my field of what I would.
You're fucking with people you don't know. So you're making this huge assumption that this man, or whomever you were speaking to, is not.
It came through with a top hat.
That sounds logical. After making boat reservations with the skull, so you know what? I'm not batting an eye at that. Seems super logical that we are putting all of our eggs in that basket.
Look, if you guys are up for suggestions, I'm happy to try other things before I head on to the boat, but the way I see it within the criminal world, being a part of the crime family I'm unfortunately a part of, gives me some sort of level of pedigree. It would be unwise for someone to meddle with someone who is associated with my particular family, unfortunately, because of their reputation.
If you're trying to ease yourself from this family, why do you keep using them as leverage?
I didn't. He asked, and it's polite. If someone says, hey, what crime family are you from? I've got to make sure we're not enemies here. And so I haven't used them as leverage. I don't want to be a part of it, but at the moment I don't have a choice, so I may as well use it.
You did,
Like,
but
it's
the
something
thing is, like, you did have a choice. You had a choice to run that by people.
Then what is the plan to get information?
That's what, right, we're talking. We wanted to discuss as a whole while we're here in this room to get together. Okay. Garth got information that a lot of the dock guards go to a tavern after work.
That was the
Oh, the
yellow
yellow rat. So we send someone of your skill set into the yellow rat to get information, because what do guards do after work when they're having ale? They chit chat, they get rowdy, they talk about it. And if they don't show up after saying that they would, that means something's going down.
Okay, so I'll go to the yellow rat, suss out what's happening. If I feel that my mission to get onto the Vanquisher is viable, I'll continue. Because sometimes underworld knowledge is really good knowledge.
And what's your plan if you get caught?
I turn into a bat and fly away. Like, worst case scenario, I yeet myself out the window, I turn into a bat and fly away.
And if your contact discovers that you abandoned the mission?
Oh, he already said no harm, no... he said if I fail in my mission, there's no harm because it doesn't get linked back to his crime family. If I get caught, there's no link back to his crime family.
But then we lose out on all of this wonderful, precious knowledge you were supposed to be accruing, so this entire thing of putting us all at risk was for naught. Right? That's what I'm getting here.
I wanted to get us information. We'll get information from the sailors, we'll get official information from my Kenku in a top hat. That means we'll have multiple sources of information. That's the best thing you can do when you need information. You get it from different sources and see what overlaps. I am a good thief. I am potentially the best thief next to Yagi on this continent. I am exceptionally good at what I do. My criminal name is somewhat famed for it in capital cities, and where my main base of operation was over those 2 years. I'm not saying I'm proud of the work I did, but I have a good set of skill sets, and I can use that to get us information.
I think Malagos might chime up here and basically mention, it's a good option, and we know that the guards will be at the tavern, so there won't be that many still on the ship.
We make the assumption that they're all from the ship.
Well, there is only one ship in the harbor.
And I mean, if we get desperate, we can use Hawks as cute female bait for the other guards that are on the boat on duty. Because who can resist those charms?
Camera
Hawks,
pans.
Hobbs, I say this with all the affection I can muster. You think that's going to... You want to look me in the eye and tell me you think that's going to work?
If nothing else, a bard might be willing to show up at the tavern.
No.
No.
Or we just...
You're too recognizable with the Imperials.
Oh.
Oh wait, isn't he a sergeant?
Yeah, I'm a sergeant.
For a different army?
Doesn't matter.
Well,
you could do a random
different
spot
branch.
inspection.
Different branch, not different army.
And start yelling at them because their shoes aren't buffed and shined or whatever army people do. I don't know.
Yeah, Travis is kind of like the secret police. Or the secret service.
I think that would be more suspicious to have this, Secret Service agent just show up and start ordering your guards around and tell them to do boot inspections.
Would you argue that in the moment?
Depending on how many cups in I am, yes. Yes, I would.
Look,
Let's
Mia,
also not forget,
Mia,
Travis is also a bard. He's not necessarily well known amongst the Imperial forces.
Mia, I'm sorry if it feels like I've gone behind your back or made a decision without you, but Malagos is always telling me to try to use my skills for good and to pick a side on where I need to sit instead of flip-flopping around. So I am trying my best to use the skills I have to do something for a good purpose.
That is
And I'm
so
sorry if
fine
I-
and dandy. Like, I'm not mad or frustrated with you using your abilities for the team. I'm just saying I was verbally assaulted all night one night while we were on the ship about how we need to make decisions as a team and how I'm not the right one to make decisions. And then it seems like you just go and do what you want anyway after telling us that that's not how you want it to work. So that is mainly where my frustration lies.
And I'm sorry, but I wanted to do something productive. And if I get captured and go get arrested, that's no skin off anyone else's nose.
Right, I just want to make sure that everyone knows what's good for the goose is good for the gander. So, moving forward, Hops, if you want to do something, fucking do it. Don't even talk to us anymore. Kyrie, you want to do anything? Don't even ask.
Malagos, why are you being so goddamn melodramatic? I'm sorry. We have better things to do than to internally squabble. I need to have a nap. I need to get ready to work out how I'm going to find information at a bar. We need to walk past the vanquisher and work out what's happening. Now is not the time to have a sulk because I didn't check something with you in the moment when I found an opportunity.
Yeah. Go for it. I'm not being melodramatic. I'm calling out bullshit like I relied on you to do when I needed it. So, that's all I was doing. Get your rations out, have your coffees, set up your bunk if you're staying here for the night. That's how the schedule's going to go. We're going to get information. Hopefully we find out when the shift changes tomorrow, if you can listen out for that specifically, because that's when we're going to get back to the ship.
Perfect. We'll make sure we're there on time. I'll head to the bar with Hoxley. We might have Travis on standby as a bard in case there are more boats on the bank.
What? I didn't want to go to the bar.
I thought you.
Too bad.
I'm not cute enough.
You got voluntold.
You got voluntold because I'm not as cute as you are as a.
No.
Okay, then don't come. That's fine. I'm just saying I'm just simply not cute enough to garner the attention that you would.
No.
Have you seen
No.
what soldiers are
That's
willing
fine.
to flirt with?
That's fine. I'll go. Travis will be on standby to be a bard in case there's more people on the Vanquisher than we thought. I'll sneak in. I'll chuck the crates into the water at 2 a.m. We'll get the information. We'll cross our dots. We'll dot our I's and cross our T's and make sure that everyone's, like, we've got all the information we need, and then we book it as soon as our ship's ready to go.
Yeah, no, I'm with Mia on all this. No, I'm not going.
I said you didn't have to.
Okay.
I said that's fine. You don't have to. I'll go by myself. But then Travis is still happy to be on standby as the bard?
Happy? No. Willing to for the good of the world? Sure.
Cool. I will take what I can get. Amazing. And if everything goes to shit, I will turn into a bat and bail.
It sounds
And it won't
like
be linked back to us.
Sounds like we traded one side quest for another.
I mean, you can still do the other side quest too.
We can still nick.
Nope.
I'm happy to steal some money on the side that's on the ship to give to your blacksmith friend. I mean, I'm already breaking in.
I mean, this guy sounded like he was part of the local guard rather than the Imperial contingent that's rolled into town.
I mean, it's all government funds. It doesn't really matter.
It's all tax dollars.
Exactly, it's all tax dollars.
Is
Alright.
Nehoth part of the Empire, or is it independent?
It's part of the Empire.
It's still tax dollars though.
Alright, it is almost 1:30 a.m. I think this is a good place to stop for this week. And I will remind all of our players that we are off next week, as it is our normal week off. Thank you to our new sub and our new follower. Glad to have you. Hope you stick around. And check us out on YouTube if you want to learn more about the group. Until then, though, I will say there are 20 sides to every story. Roll for yours. Have a good night, everyone.